You're listening to The Scrimmage with Daniel Hargrove and Justin Domashevitz.
That's the sound of a matter, baby.
What's a matter, baby?
Nothing, sugar. What's the matter with you? Well, honestly, right before the show, I was a little confused.
Yeah.
As I watched Andrew frantically run across the
Yes.
room, and I realized,
Sprint.
like, as fast as Andrew goes.
Yes.
And I realized it was to retrieve a earbud.
Yes.
So that he could listen to the Mariners in one ear while he's also producing our show.
No, Justin. It's because I watch the show on my phone to make sure that the audio is working.
Did you not know he did that?
No.
Oh, he's got two headphones on, right? But under one of his headphones is an earbud where he listens to us delayed.
I thought that was
How
Hannah's
bizarre is that?
Yeah.
Like, I just started processing that right now, that Andrew listens to us and then listens to us at the same time.
He must really like us.
It became necessary because occasionally we have the audio problems that
Right.
are it's a software issue, but it's
Call me back when
impossible
it's
for me
hardware.
to tell that it's happening. Like whatever bug causes that occasionally audio to not be going, it looks like it's going out on the computer. So the only way for me to know is to have it in my ear.
So you're not listening to the Mariners game?
No.
No.
Because why
He's-
would you?
He's much too dedicated.
Actually, I should watch the Mariners game.
Oh,
See,
did
I'm
we,
watching the Mariners
oh,
game.
we have it in a place that Daniel can see it?
Yes, you do, and I am watching it. So I am still fully prepared. I think nuke aside, like Julio hit an absolute tank today. As the game is still going right now, it is 2-1 in the bottom of the 8th inning, 1 out. JP Crawford's at the plate. For all of you listening, you can have this time stamped.
You want to do play-by-play for a minute? Or
I mean, I could, man. You know, it might get me ready for like when KELA asks me to do a baseball game later or something.
Yeah. I think
but
you'd be really good at that.
it was fun. It is fun. But I've got a Julio take.
Okay.
Should I wait for the end of the show?
Let's wait for the end of the show because there is a Mariners question in the actually a couple Mariners questions in the 2-minute drill.
Okay.
So if we go from that into a little bit of Mariners talk, that feels most appropriate.
Okay. Well, you always are appropriate.
I'm always appropriate, and I'm always really good at staying on task and not sidetracking.
Run into each other. Oh, they did! Oh, I feel bad. But they caught it. Sorry. The A's outfielders just ran into each other.
Are they injured?
No, they
And they
it was
still
like
caught
a glancing blow, and they still caught it. But I was like, oh, run into each other, and then they did. They just derped into each. Oh, he hit him in the face with his glove, and they had a slow mo on it. That's hilarious.
We might have to turn this game off.
Baseball's funny. Let's get things going with the Local Sports Roundup because it's huge.
Montesano's boys soccer team remained unbeaten in Evergreen 1A League play with a 1-0 home win over Elma on Monday. Felix Romero scored the match's lone goal on a penalty kick in overtime shortly after Bulldog keeper Matt Causey made a full extension one-handed save. Causey earned his first clean sheet of the season in goal. Monty kept it rolling with a 5-1 home win over Forks on Wednesday. Romero and Brady Whipple scored 2 goals apiece for the Bulldogs. And Chris Tobar added a goal and 2 assists. On Friday.
Whipples, Kazi's,
Yeah.
names we know.
Ah.
Aberdeen's boys soccer team.
On Friday,
Sorry.
Monty beat Chief Lachey 11-0
Oh,
at home.
we really needed the 11-0.
Yes,
Okay.
11-0.
Nothing.
No.
Aberdeen's boys soccer team dropped its league opener at home 1-0 against WF West or West on Tuesday. The Bobcats bounced back, did not mean to do that one actually, bounced back with an overtime PK's win at Black Hills on Thursday. The teams played to a 1-1 tie through regulation and 2 overtime periods, with Aberdeen's lone goal coming on a header from Freddy Hernandez, assisted by Javier Lagunas. Edgar Ceja, Christian Lopez, and Lagunas each converted an OTPK for the Bobcats.
Elma's soccer team was a not-so-gracious host to Ilwaco on Thursday. The Eagles thumped the Fishermen 15-0. Luis Torres was one of 3 players to record a hat trick and also had 4 assists.
Ouch.
Brian Torres and Devin Sexton also each scored 3 goals. That's a lot.
Elma's Brody Palmer and Cole Gustafsson combined to no-hit Hoquiam on Tuesday at Olympic Stadium. I don't know.
9.
Just saying Gustafsson got me into something there. Palmer struck out 13 of the 16 batters he faced in the first 5 innings of the 10-0 Eagle win, and Gustafsson pitched the last 2 innings. Palmer also went 2 for 3 at the dish, scoring 1 run and driving in 4. You're not supposed to be that good at baseball and soccer at the same time.
Montesano improved to 3-1 on its baseball season with a 17-9 win at Centralia on Tuesday.
Take that, Centralia.
Colson Hendrickson, Tyson Perry, Colton Grubb. Oh, sorry, I violated the no grub.
Oh, man.
Mason Fry and Carter Ames each recorded 2 hits for the Bulldogs.
That's a lot of hits.
Hendrickson hit 2 doubles, scored 3 runs, and drove in 1, while Perry recorded a double, 2 runs, and 2 RSBI, and Fry and Ames each scored 3 times. On Saturday, Monty swept a doubleheader at DeSales, 11-0 and 12-0.
DeSales. Sounds like a good place to shop. Raymond South Bend dominated the baseball diamond against North Beach in South Beach. What? Against North Beach in South Beach. Got it. On
South
Tuesday.
Bend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. In South Bend. Oh, I don't got it. Because South Beach would be Acosta. So many norths and souths.
The thing is, you read it like 3 times, and you read South Beach every time, and it clearly says South Bend.
It clearly does.
Do you want to rewind and start over?
Raymond South Bend dominated the baseball diamond against North Beach in South Bend on Tuesday, picking up a 19-0 win. Ravens second baseman Edgar Chavez went 2 for 3 with a double, 3 runs, and 4 RSBI.
Double. It's another name for a double.
Yeah.
Acosta's baseball team won a home game against Oakville 9-6 on Tuesday. Logan White led the Wildcats on offense with 2 hits.
Montesano's softball team earned its first win of the season on Tuesday, 10-3 at Auburn Riverside. Violet Prince, that's a great softball name. Maybe that's just a great name. Violet Prince
It's a really good sport
earned
name.
the win in the circle for the Bulldogs, allowing 3 unearned runs on 2 hits and striking out 15 batters in 7 innings. Jalen Butterfield went 2 for 4 with a home run, a double, and 4 RSBI, and Allie Parkin went 2 for 4 with a double and 2 RSBI. On Friday, Monty notched an 8-0 home win over much-hated Lyndon Christian. Yes! Grace Gooding no-hit Lyndon Christian through 5 2/3 innings. Yes! Before allowing her only hit in the contest, Gooding finished with 8 strikeouts across 7 innings, allowing the 1 hit and walking just 2 batters. Lex Stanfield went 4 for 4 for the Bulldogs with a double and earned an RBI. Reading's hard today. Liv Robinson, Hazel Jones, and Kylie Wisdom chipped in 2 hits apiece, and Parkin hit a 3-run tank, her 3rd of the season.
Elma's softball team improved to 4-0 on the season.
A tank is a home run, by the way.
And open league play with a 19-6 win over Hoquiam in Montesano on Thursday. Laney Benaric led the Eagles' offensive charge, going 3 for 4 with a double, a home run, 2 runs scored, and 4 RSBI. Mia Monroe also went 3 for 4 for Elma, hitting 2 doubles, scoring thrice and driving in 4 runs. Not to be outdone, Eagles' Raylan Weld also went 3 for 4, hit a triple, scored twice, and drove in 4. Hoke Williams' Lexi LaBounty joined the ball-smashing party, going 2 for 3 with a home run, 2 runs, and 3 RSBI.
Raymond South Bend dominated North Beach in a softball doubleheader on Tuesday in South Bend. Got this right. The Ravens opened with a 19-0 win led by Berkeley Morley, who went 4 for 4 with a double, 3 runs scored and 2 driven in, and Ava Pine, who went 2 for 3 with 2 doubles, 2 runs, and 1 RBI. RSB won the nightcap 23-2, powered by Emma Glazier's 3 hits, including a grand slam, a double, 5 runs scored, and 5 RSBI.
That's a lot.
Josie Hauk had 2 hits for the Ravens, scored 4 runs, and drove in 2. On Thursday, RSB lost to defending state champ Adna 22-1. Get out of here, Adna.
Ocasta's softball team routed Oakville 29-0 on Tuesday in Westport. Sophie Olive had 2 hits. Is it Olive or Olive? I can't remember where we landed on that.
Can't remember that
either.
either.
She had 2 hits for the Wildcats, scored 4 runs, and drove in 5. Ocasta's Brooklyn Blake went 0 for 0 in the contest with 3 runs scored and was hit by a pitch 4 times.
Nice.
Let me read
I was
that
like,
again.
wait a second. Why did you?
Brooklyn Blake went 0 for 0 in the contest with 3 runs scored and was hit by a pitch 4 times.
Dude, my dad might get this reference. That's some real Tyler Reinvan stuff there, circa 1998. Playing for Centralia College, Hoquiam alum Gracie Bonnie Spradlin went 5 for 5 with 2 doubles, a home run, a stolen base, 3 runs scored, and 5 RSBI in a doubleheader at Clackamas on Saturday. Bonnie Spradlin is playing shortstop for the Trailblazers and is batting .383 on the season. Last year, she batted .359 for Centralia, stole 22 bags. Holy smokes.
PL Willapa Valley picked up a pair of convincing softball wins at Ilwaco on Tuesday, 16-1 and 16-0. In the opener, Jillian Holdle and Tyler Keaton recorded 4 hits apiece. Keaton hit 2 triples, scored 4 times, and drove in 5 runs. In the nightcap, Sophia Milanowski and CJ Sipp each recorded 3 hits for the Titans. Milanowski hit a home run and a double, scored twice, and drove in 5 runs.
In girls golf, Montesino beat Hoquiam 202-231. Don't know how this happened on Tuesday at Highland Golf Course in Cosmopolis. Lucy Scott led the Bulldogs. Great Scott led the Bulldogs with a 45, and her teammate Maggie Kupka shot a 49. Hoquiam was led by Molly Gunderson's round of 51. That was a weird mix of Australian, then Scottish, and then something else at
Some
the end.
kind of leprechaun at the end. Sticking with golf, Elma also was in action on Tuesday, and they beat Rochester 226-271 at Oaks Ridge Golf Course in Elma. Olivia Moore shot a 39 for the Eagles, and her teammate Sophia Hamilton shot a 45.
Wow.
Moore and Hamilton were the only 2 golfers for either team under 50 on the day. On Thursday, Elma battled through wet weather for a 210-240 win over Hoquiam at Oaks Ridge. Moore shot a 39 again, and Hamilton was close behind at 42. Cora Bisher and Johanna Sanchez Ortiz shot a 58 each for the Grizzlies.
Aberdeen captured the boys' team title, and Elma won the girls' team title at the Ray Ryan Memorial Meet, also known as the Grace Harbor All-County Meet, at Miller Junior High in Aberdeen on Saturday. Aberdeen's Isaac Garcia took first in the triple jump, or the triple jump, long jump, 400 meter, and teamed up with Toby Nelson, Trevin Clarkson, and Henry Nelson to win the 4x400. Henry Nelson also took first in the 800, with Toby Nelson behind him in second. Landon Hamlin won the shot put for the Bobcats, and Kevin Sedgwick won the high jump. Elma girls got individual titles from Georgia Burkhart in the triple jump and the 300 meters. Sorry, that didn't work. 300 meter hurdles, and Sophia Vanadore, that could be pronounced poorly, in the 100 hurdles. Elma and Aberdeen performed well on both sides. Elma's boys took second place in the team standings, as did Aberdeen's girls. Whew, lots of track stuff.
More track.
Yes.
Running through some of the other top performers at the meet on the boys' side, Elma's Ricardo Guadarrama took first in the 100 and 200 meters, and Aberdeen's Cordell Roberts placed second in both of those races. Hoquiam's Riker Maxfield took first in the 1600 and the 3200, and Montesano's Benny Anderson was second in both of those races, because apparently they're both crazy people who want to run 4,800 meters in one day, and also probably spent an hour warming up as well, because they're nuts.
Yeah.
North Beach's Elton Rocky won the 110 hurdles and took second in the 300 hurdles behind Elma's Ryder Nelson. Ryder Nelson also teamed up with Guadarrama, Jordan Meadows, and Cohen Finch to win the 4x100 relay. Oakville's Lewis Kozer won the discus and placed fourth in the shot put. Elma's Cohan Morrison won the javelin, and Ocasta's Elijah Perry won the pole vault.
On the girls' side, Hoquiam's freshman Renasia Burtonshaw won everything. No, that's not what it says. Continued an impressive start to her track career by winning the long jump, the 100, and the 200, and teaming up with Emily Broadhead, Brittany Alcala, and Caitlin Broadhead to win the 4x100 relay. Montesano's Haley McElroy took second in both the 100 and 200. Hoquiam also won the 4x200 relay with both Broadheads and Alcala teaming up with Karen Parra. North Beach's Katana Kapoman won the 400, and Aberdeen's Mia Halleck won the 800 and the 1600. Halleck also won the 4x400 relay with Aylin Haggard, Annie Devine, and Serenity Allred. Montesano Samantha Schweppe. Schweppe.
That was a good mashup though.
Samantha, or never. I'm gonna stop. Won the 3200 with teammate Zoe Ray placing second. Hoquiam's Sydney Gordon also won the shot put and placed second in discus, while Aberdeen's Riley Brooks won the discus and placed second in the shot put. Oh, I see what you did there. Montesano's Paige Booz won the javelin. Aberdeen's Haley Yonner won the high jump with teammate Annika Reimer placing second. Hoquiam's Karen Parra won the pole vault with teammate Emily Broadhead in second.
This will conclude the local sports roundup.
Holy
Good job,
smokes.
guys.
That was like a 12-minute.
Yeah. Justin not only did a good job compiling that, but my reading of that did not warrant a good job at all.
I hope that there weren't storylines I missed from the all-county meet.
How could you have possibly missed something? You put like an hour's worth of stuff in there.
I didn't go through the program and check to make sure that no records were broken. That was one thing I didn't do.
Oh, the program.
Yeah, which I could have done, but it would have taken me a long time, and I already spent so much time going through the individual track results.
Right.
The other hard part about the all-county meet, like typically if we have like Aberdeen going to play a 2A Evergreen meet, I'm going to mention like every kid that placed top 6 in an event because there's not going to be as many.
Right.
But in this one, it was like, okay, number one, mention everybody who won something.
Which is everyone because it's
all
Grace
our,
Harbor.
Yes,
yeah.
it's all our coverage area. And then most of the kids who finished second or like placed in multiple events. But if you are one of our local athletes who like had a really good meet and I missed mentioning your name, I'm so sorry. I tried my best. Sometimes my best just isn't good enough.
I didn't.
But I mean, couple things out of that, I think. One is the dominance of Isaac Garcia from Aberdeen, which is not surprising. Like that kid is an absolute star athlete. He's if there's somebody who's going to be a 4-event winner, I'm not surprised at all that it's him.
Right.
The other storyline out of this that I feel like is we probably should have seen it coming a little bit more, and we definitely knew that Renasia Burtonshaw was really fast.
Right.
I mean, we've been seeing her, competing in relays at like a national level in junior high and stuff. But the level of dominance that she's shown early in this track season as a freshman is in the sprinting events. Like, it's not super unusual to see underclassmen be good at distance running.
Right.
It's a little unusual to see a freshman come out and dominate the sprints.
Yes.
Because that pretty much means you got like a 14-year-old who's going up against like 17 and 18-year-old kids.
Yep.
And is already so athletically developed that she is killing people. Like, not literally. Like, no people have died.
To be clear.
But if she runs any
she's
faster,
not killing people.
if she
That
runs
we
any
know
faster,
of.
someone might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will add the disclaimer, she's not killing people that we know of. Because I don't want it to be a thing like where, oh, she actually did kill someone at a track meet, and then we find out later, and then I said it that she didn't, and so then it implicates me.
Weird hedge there, my guy. That is a weird hedge.
Sometimes when it comes to murder, though, you have to hedge. It's important.
Do you?
You have to. You always must hedge the murder.
I was curious what the 4x1 was going to look like because I think Aaliyah Kennedy was in the relay with them when they're going to all those national meets and stuff.
Yeah.
For their age group. So I was kind of curious about that team now that because I think Aaliyah's playing fast pitch.
Yes, I believe she did choose softball.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously they still have a really good 4x100 because they won, and they've got Broadhead's older sister to go with her, and then I wonder who's the other one?
It was Brittany Alcala.
Brittany Alcala. I feel bad calling her the other one. I wonder if she...
Well, she's the one who isn't Renasia Burtonshaw or a Broadhead.
Or a Broadhead, yes. Yeah. And the other one... That's an old reference.
Yeah. So I did, like, the thing with Renasia is like we knew she was going to be really good.
Yeah.
I have been surprised a little bit, and maybe I shouldn't have been, but surprised a little bit and super impressed with how fast she got really good.
I wasn't expecting her to break a school record her first meet.
Yeah.
Like a school record.
Fair.
Like all of the other Hoquiam sprinters in history, she beat them.
Yeah.
And then to follow that up with taking down
them.
the whole no, she beat them
that
but
we
didn't
know
kill
of.
them. Yeah. Taking down the whole county like in the 100 and the 200 and the long jump.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of nuts. I want to see some of the video from these. I wonder, man, I'm going to hop over to Facebook and see if
hold on, I just got a message that I think this is important, and hopefully this is someone who's watching and maybe heard me say that I didn't check records. But I got a message saying Isaac Garcia broke the 400 meter record and the long jump record.
Nice.
And Henry Nelson. So I'm saying these are meet records, I'm assuming, for the Grays Harbor All County meet, because last year Henry Nelson broke the meet record in is it the 800 that he runs?
He runs a lot of things. He was one of those crazy people who
the
ran
one
all
that
the
he
stuff,
won,
wasn't he?
He won. He took first in the 800. Okay, so that last year he broke the meet record in the 800, and this year he broke that record that he had set last year, and that Isaac Garcia broke the meet record for the 400 and the long jump.
Jeez.
So thank you to Jessica Nelson, who is watching the show right now and sent us in that information, because as I mentioned, that was the one thing I didn't check to see what meet records were broken, but that definitely comes into play, I think, when we're talking about Athlete of the Week.
Yes, absolutely.
Meet records will make a difference there.
Yeah, you always want to have a record of your meat to know if it's gone bad or not. Don't want to eat spoiled meat.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at some of these pictures of Renasia crossing a finish line.
Yeah.
And these are sprints. She shouldn't be this far ahead of people in sprints.
It is one of those from this meet, because I didn't put, this is another thing, I didn't put times in, because normally I would include times, but there was just so much, and I wanted to make sure. I felt like the most important thing was to mention the kids' names.
Absolutely.
But as many kids as possible. But I'm gonna look up real quick what the difference in time was, because another one is Ricky Guadarrama from Elma.
Yeah.
The amounts of time that he's beating people by in general in the sprints, I felt like was pretty staggering. So
is that the same kid who we were talking
from
about
last year? Yes.
Yeah.
He's a sophomore now. He was a freshman last year.
Yeah.
Just a long strider.
And he was the one who was just kind of like hanging out.
Oh,
like
just sitting
everybody's
on the
warming
side,
up, and
eating
he's
a
like, "Hey,
banana. Yeah,
you guys worry too much.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah."
do cheetahs worry before they go kill it?
So Ricky
Gosh, we're
ran-
talking about killing things a lot today.
Well, yeah, I stopped talking about it and you kept going.
Sorry.
Ricky
Wait a second.
ran an 11.33 in the 100, and second place was 11.78. So he won by half a second there. And
The question is would that have beaten Prime? No, I'm just kidding.
Prime Daniel
That's
Hargrove?
way too fast for me.
The other one in the 200 meters, this one is like maybe even more impressive. He beat second place by a second and a half.
Whoa.
More than a second and a half.
In what?
In the 200 meters.
In the
So
200?
he ran a 22.97, and
Dude.
second place was a 24.54.
That's a big gap.
That's some Faith Cardenas stuff right there.
Yeah, so that would have been one where
Jeez.
you were talking about seeing how far everybody was behind him. I'm sure that would look funny.
Yes.
Renasia won the 100 by 0.44 seconds, so she ran a 12.9.
Yeah.
And the second place was 13.34. And she won the 200 by half a second. She ran a 26.99, and second place was a 27.49.
Which
so
is
that's pretty substantial.
Yeah. But it's
For-
not what was that, 2 seconds?
It's like 2.5 seconds.
Holy
for,
smokes.
yeah, for Ricky. So we've got some sprinters that I expect to be making some noise in the postseason. I'm really curious to see how Guadarrama can do. I hope I'm saying that right. How he can do. One of my favorite things about him is last year. I remember because my son was running track and they were running in the same sprints against each other, and he always had the biggest cheering section. There's like huge family. They're all showing up. You got kids with signs that say "Go Ricky" or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty awesome. Like real nice community moment. So yeah, I'm excited to see what'll happen the rest of the way with track. And in the meantime, we got all kinds of other sports going on. Olivia Moore in golf, like, no surprise at all.
Yeah.
She's going out early season, shooting a 39. Two
in a row.
Is that just a normal thing for her? I don't know, but
Yeah.
2 in a row, two
Yeah.
in 1 week, she shot a 39.
Maybe that's just where she lives. Just
Maybe.
39. Maybe she purposely bogeys the last hole to get a 39.
Probably.
I don't know. My dad said wouldn't beat Prime Dad.
Prime Dad Hargrove.
I gotta get what he. Oh, and then I said, was yours yards or meters? Because he was from the way back.
Yeah.
But also Prime Dad is college, so I assume this is a college time. But apparently he ran an 11.1 100 meters, which is kind of
That's
flying.
really fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes me feel like I didn't get enough of those genes.
Or
Where
does
you
it-
at?
Or does it make you, do you know what your 100
Oh,
meters is?
Guadarrama says he's got the video of his 200 if you want to see it. Yes.
I do want to see
Can
it.
you Facebook message it? Because I want to see if other runners are in the screen when you cross the finish line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of winning from these
Yes.
kids throughout the course of the year.
I'm so excited.
The all county meet is super fun. Last year they rotate where it is. This year it was at Miller Junior High in Aberdeen. Last year it was in North Beach. It was wet. It was like super windy, and that has a really weird effect sometimes on track meets as well. Because I think, if
it's behind you, then you could get a wind-aided time, right?
Well, yes, but I think it was I think the wind was against the sprinters. Like it
Is that
was
like
blowing.
an official thing.
Yeah, it's
So
so-
it's like a wet track kind of.
Yeah.
For
for racing.
racing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
For auto racing. Yeah.
But, like,
Because if you like, I've seen world records at like Olympic and like national championship. I've seen them be negated by wind aided times.
Wow.
So like if the wind hits a certain mile per hour during the race or something, then they call it wind aided,
Well,
and
if
it
you
doesn't
go,
count.
If you go look at the results on,
What if the wind's
Athletic.
hurting you?
well, that depends.
I think it depends on what direction the wind's going. I think they
and then
measure
the other
that
thing
too.
is, like, if you're running the 400, then half the time the wind's in your face and half
Yes.
the time it's at your back.
Presumably that would even it out. Then,
I would think
right?
so.
Yeah.
Like,
But
That
like,
makes
if you
sense.
go check the results on athletic.net, which is like the official place where it actually says wind aided. Like it'll be
Gotcha.
on there.
Oh,
There'll be a
interesting.
note that says
Wow.
it's wind aided. So, yeah. But anyway,
Weighted.
Really, really interested to see how track season shakes out and how many placers that we can get at state and how many kids are going to get there. I think Ricky would have a really good shot, and as obviously as well as Renasia and Isaac Garcia, it's really tough in 2A, man. There's some real freak athletes in 2A, but he's going to have a good shot to go compete there as well. So really excited to see what happens with track. We got cool stuff happening in golf. I'm expecting to see Olivia Moore up there in the state competition again, just like she was last year. And baseball, softball, pretty early in the season still.
Yeah.
The one thing, too, I wanted to talk about boys soccer.
Adna seems to still be good.
Yes. Two things. One is, in softball, I might have to end up getting some clarification on this because it sounds like for district tournaments for softball in 1A, they might be combining with, I don't know if it's because of like the amount of teams that there are that actually have teams, I'm not sure. But they might be combining with like District 1 and 2 and playing a larger district tournament that includes Linden Christian being in the district tournament.
Interesting.
Like that, the teams from up there being a part of a larger district tournament that gets more berths into state.
Welcome to the Hell Zone, District 1.
Yeah.
District 2 softball is legit.
District 4 softball.
District 4, that's what
District
it is.
District 4 softball, we have had great softball.
Yeah.
Especially coming out of Grace Harbor County. And then in soccer, they did a combined league. Like Raymond South Bend played in the 1A Evergreen League last year.
Right.
I think there's more 2B teams because it was noting like Ilwaco, Forks. I don't remember how many of those teams played in the 1A Evergreen, but I think there might be more 2B teams that have joined 1A Evergreen.
Interesting.
So we're like the 15-0 win over Ilwaco that Elma had normally wouldn't be a league win, but I believe now it's a league win.
Interesting.
So those are some things
crazy.
we're gonna have to track as the season goes on how things are different.
If Ilwaco and Forks are in the same league, like that's 2 tips of the state. That's crazy.
I have no idea
Forks,
where Ilwaco is.
Oh, Ilwaco's like on the Columbia River across from Seaside.
Oh, okay.
Or across from Astoria.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's Ilwaco is like at the far south end of Long Beach.
Yeah. So like you go through Ilwaco and then you go over the bridge to Astoria pretty much. It's crazy.
Huh. Interesting. Well, we have more local sports to talk about. We're going to name from our list of nominees. We're going to name a Spivey Athlete of the Week.
There's a lot.
We have some really good ones.
By the way, the scrimmage is brought to you by the law office of Jeffrey A. Domashevitz and Spivey Realty Group, because our listeners basically made up of people who need legal help and are wanting to buy houses.
But probably not murderers.
Probably.
As far as we know.
Allegedly.
Important hedge.
We're going to take a break and come back and get to our Spivey Athlete of the Week right after this.
Do you have a legal situation and need someone on your side? Let the law office of Jeffrey A. Domashevitz be your advocate. If you've been the victim of medical malpractice, suffered a personal injury, or need representation with real estate law, small business law, or estate planning, let Jeff Domashevitz put his 29 years of experience to work for you. Call Jeff Domashevitz today at 360-612-3991 or visit domashevitzlaw.com. That's DAMASIEWICZLAW.com.
Thank you again to Chef Domashevitz. Get it? Instead of Jeff Domashevitz.
Chef Domashevitz?
Domashevitz, yeah. Chef
That
Domashevitz.
sounds like a Food Network show.
How do you spell that, Daniel?
It's
Join Chef Domashevitz
it's
and making some kielbasa.
DAMAMAMAMAJ Evitz.
I think
Like
you
that.
nailed that.
I think there's a CZXJ. in
A
there somewhere.
CZXJ.
Yeah.
Wow, you're really going hard in the Czech Republic there. The problem with those names, Andrew, is they got on Wheel of Fortune and just never had the money for vowels. Just couldn't.
You should check out the Welsh, Daniel.
Oh, that's a good point. So true, King.
But what if you do? What do you do though if it's like a Hawaiian word that has like
All
only
vowels?
Only by
Well, we need to hook up the
woo-wah.
Welsh with Hawaii and get some trade going on.
Yes, there we go.
There's a place on Oahu that's called Aiea.
Yeah.
It's a 4-letter word that's all vowels.
Yeah, I can see that.
A-I-E-I. A. AEIOU.
AEIOU?
And sometimes why?
We can move on. I've
Yes.
embarrassed myself.
It was
My
it was
Polynesian
looking,
roots.
It was
It's a real thing.
Oh, who are our nominees?
We got a whole bunch. So first off, Brody
Number
Palmer
1.
from Elma Baseball. Brody Palmer was the starting pitcher from the combined no-hitter that they threw. He pitched 5 innings. I want to say...
Yeah, but wasn't that against Hoquiam?
Yes.
Nah, not him.
No, can't be him.
Is that because Hoquiam's no good?
No, it's because I like Hoquiam.
He pitched 5 innings and struck out 13 batters.
That's a lot. That's
Yeah.
13 out of 15.
And then he also went 2 for 3 at the plate and drove in 4 runs.
Calm down, man. Leave some stuff for everybody else.
Real strong performance there. Also, Felix Romero, and this nomination we got multiple nominations for Felix, and one of them was from our friend Eddie Russa from Grace Harbor Goals.
He knows a couple things about soccer.
He does, yeah.
Yeah.
So across 3 games, Felix this past week scored 7 goals and had 3 assists. So he contributed to 10 of the 17 goals scored by the team. All 3 were wins. One of them was a 1-0 win over rival Elma, in which Felix scored the only goal.
Did you watch that?
I did not.
Oh, he sent a video of it. It was pretty sweet.
Oh, yeah. I'll probably post that later so people can look. I do like posting videos of when people send us videos of athletes making plays. I don't always remember to post them, but I like to.
Guadarrama sent us that video. Send us that video so we can post that too.
Yeah, I want to post that too.
Let us know.
See how close it is to that one of Faith Cardenas.
Yeah.
Where
Oh,
she's
yeah, we
just
should line it up.
so far behind. But yeah, and I watched that kid run last year, and he was really good.
Yeah.
So huge week for Felix. Also, Eddie adds his energy and positivity keep his teammates focused, and he continues to be a support system for his team. And I think that's the other thing about Felix is he really is like, he's an energy guy. He's a positivity guy. I know during football too, he also kind of helped keep people on track and focused and pumped up. So Felix Romero from Montesano Soccer. We also got a nomination for Gracie Bonnie Spradlin. Mm-hmm. And I was very glad to get the message on this one.
Sorry, Andrew just started laughing while he was looking at somebody's bracket.
Is it mine?
My bracket. No, it was my bracket.
I would have said it was my bracket, except you can't call what I put together a bracket this year.
I picked Mississippi State to that spot in the Elite Eight.
Oh, yeah. Didn't they lose like immediately?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like what my
I mean, it
whole
was
bracket
a 16-1.
Attaboy. There you go.
Oh, not Mississippi.
No, Mississippi State wasn't a 16.
wasn't. Sorry,
They were like a 9,
I picked.
right?
I picked Duke to lose to Mount St. Mary's, but that's standard. Like, obviously, I'm not gonna root for Duke.
So I got a message about Gracie Bonnie Spradlin, and I really appreciate this because sometimes we have kids go off and play college ball, and then it's hard to keep track of all the kids that are playing, especially like community college ball and stuff like that. When people let us know when they do things that are cool, I sincerely appreciate that. So Gracie, who is a Hoquiam alum, went 5 for 5 with 2 doubles, a home run, a stolen base, and 3 runs scored, and 5 RSBI in a doubleheader. So that's an awesome performance.
Monster.
Lindsay Benerick from Elma Softball. And this nomination came in after the 19-6 win over Hoquiam. Oh, there's another kid did it against Hoquiam. So we can't give it to her.
Yeah. I really shouldn't have made that comment because I know where I'm planning on voting, and now it's just going to look worse.
Worse or just more accurate, Daniel?
The Eagles beat the Grizzlies 19-6, and Laney went 3 for 4. Lindsay went 3 for 4 with a double, a home run, 2 runs scored, and 4 RSBI.
That's pretty good.
That game. Grace Gooding for Montesano Softball tossed a no-hitter or a one-hitter. Wait, it was a one-hitter, right? Against Linden Christian. Let me go back and look. I think it was a one-hitter.
It was a one-hitter. Or actually, it didn't say if it was a one. Did it say if it was a one-hitter?
Yeah.
It said she didn't give up a hit until a certain inning.
And then she allowed her only hit in the contest.
Oh, only hit.
So it was a one-hitter with 8 strikeouts across 7 innings and only 2 walks.
And that's got the versus Lyndon Christian
Yeah.
escalator.
That's an escalator for us for sure.
Oh.
For sure.
Because I hate privates.
Yes. Schools. Isaac Garcia. It actually sounds worse that I added that. I made it sound worse. I apologize. Isaac Garcia from Aberdeen Track, having won 4 events, the 100. Or hold on, it was 2. There's so much local sports roundup.
Yes. Which one are you trying to find, Isaac?
Yeah, it's the long jump, the triple jump, the 400 meter, and the 4x4
Yes.
are the things that Isaac won, and also knowing that he set meet records in the 400 and the long jump, I believe, is what it was. So he's got meet record escalators. We have Reneja Burtonshaw, who also won 4 events, the 2 sprinting events, the long jump, and then also the relay.
I feel like you should do like a graphic with a steak on there and be like meat record.
I like it. I like it. That's good. And then I also added Ricardo Guadarrama from Elma Track to the nominees as
Yes.
well. Like, he did win 2 events, and then I want to say he was on a relay team that also won. But just the amount that he won those things by,
Yeah.
boy, I really got
He
myself
teamed up
lost
with
here.
Ryder Nelson, also teamed up with Guadarrama, Jordan Meadows, and Cohen French to win the 4x100 relay.
So he won the 100 and the 200, smoked everybody very badly, especially in the 200.
Yes.
And that he also teamed up in the 4x1 relay to win with his teammates. So
Smoked him like a brisket.
so that's the list.
I'm feeling hungry for some reason.
You've been talking about meat a lot for the last few minutes. So I'll admit that I think that there's like a group that kind of sets itself apart here.
Yeah.
I don't know that I have a direction that I'm leaning, like one particular athlete that I could point out.
I know. So
Daniel's already decided who he's voting for.
Well, Brody Palmer and Lindsey Benerick are out because they did their damage against Hoquiam.
they were mean.
They were mean.
They beat the Grizzlies.
Yeah. So
Not okay for Daniel.
They are out.
Grizzly alum.
Did Felix won it last week, didn't he?
No, I don't think we've had Felix as
It
a
was
winner.
it was Lily. It was Lily Camp
Lily
won it
Camp.
last week.
Felix has been
That's what it is. Felix is growing
been in
into a
the-
snub of the week
he's
candidate.
been in the honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Let me go back and look actually because I want to make sure because we had Chris Tobar.
You should probably
Yeah,
pick
Chris
him
Tob-
pretty soon, or you're gonna have to name another award.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done. We had Chris Tobar a couple weeks ago from Monty Soccer, and
Right.
then last week Felix was in the honorable mentions
Yeah,
list.
and it was Lily Camp.
Yeah,
But the hard thing for me last week is Reneja set a school record.
yeah.
And so this week
That was last week.
I was telling my wife, I was like, oh my goodness, Reneja just went 100, 200 long jump 4x1 in the all county meet. And she's like, oh, good thing you didn't give her the athlete of the week last week.
and really
And
though,
then she's like, oh, you might not want to do it this week either because who knows what she'll do next week.
Well, yeah,
and I was like,
what meet is next week?
exactly.
well, the other thing was like
She gonna go like the Heinz 57 All-State meet next week or something like that?
I think the way that
I say
we-
that because last year we had oh my gosh. I should have to turn over my Grizzly card for not remembering our athlete of the year's name right
Jane
now.
Roloff?
Yes, there we go. Cheese. Cheese and rice. Yeah, see?
I lost a little bit of respect for you. Just
I
then.
feel like my vote should get taken away this week. I
Wait, I get to
mentioned the
decide
Heinz.
myself. How many Bulldogs do we have on here? Let's see.
I-
Two.
I brought up the Heinz 57 thing because it felt like last year, anytime there was some crazy meet that Jane Roloff was going, and they all had weird names. So I figure that Reneja will probably be going to some of those this year.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
Weird pause there. Awkward.
Remember though,
Hopefully you're listening to this on 1.5 speed.
in case people are listening this week, but they didn't listen last week.
Yeah.
The way that as we discussed who was going to be athlete of the week, we speculated that the game Lily Camp had with a 20 strikeout no-hitter may have been the greatest game in the history, the greatest pitching performance in the history of Bobcat softball.
Yeah.
So we were kind of going like, okay, so it's probably about the same as breaking a school record.
Yeah.
And so we ended up going with Lily.
Yep.
But obviously, nod to Renasia for, little old school record and your first ever attempt at a school record.
Right. My wife just gave me some consolation. She said, "It's okay. We have pregnancy brain."
You do. Also?
Hey, you know what? Yes.
I think he means it. Okay, so does that mean you were leaning towards Burton Shaw as your selection?
Yeah, that's what I meant. But dang, this list is kind of ridiculous.
It really is. I mean,
why is it that spring sports tends to do this to us?
Every single year.
Every spring.
Every single year.
Athlete of the week is just the worst.
I was kind of going
because they're all the best. Nobody's mid.
It always hurts me to not pick Felix. Partly because I love Felix.
You know what? It's just his namesake. Doing amazing, but not quite enough to win the award.
Okay.
Felix Hernandez, Felix Romero. I really like Felix too. I played some basketball with him over the winter. It was a lot of fun.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking, I was going back and forth between Isaac Garcia and Renasia Burton-Shaw because I wish that I knew. Maybe I should have dug a little deeper and figured out if she broke any meet records. I don't know.
Is being a like in the final conversation the previous week an escalator? Because I feel like maybe that kind of is an escalator.
It probably would be more of an escalator towards the end of the season.
Well,
but
as the weeks stack up.
Yeah. But gosh, Garcia's going to be doing the same stuff.
We've got a video from Ricky Guadarrama.
Oh, did we? Oh, you can watch it first.
Let's see.
I mean, you might want to turn down the volume. We haven't vetted
good.
this audio.
It's really good. I'm turning it up, actually.
What if there's swear words?
They wouldn't do that.
Oh, he also commented, "Sent it." Yeah, we're gonna watch it right now.
I'm actually downloading
because this is great
Facebook?
audio. It might have just. Did he send it to
He
us
sent
as a
it
whole?
to our Facebook page.
Okay. Andrew's
I've got it
pulling
on my
up.
phone. I downloaded it to my phone. Okay, so here we go. He's coming around the bend.
Is this better or worse than me saying what I text?
Oh my gosh, Daniel!
Is it some Faith Cardenas stuff?
Look at the. Hold on, I'm gonna pause this here. This is where Ricky is. Nobody else is in frame.
Oh wow! You know what's funny is that's the same track where I got that video of Faith in our intro video.
Can't really see that.
No, you can't. That's pretty bad. Here,
We'll
let me
post.
try.
We will post this video.
Yes, we're gonna.
Because
No, that's a little.
see, that's Ricky in the middle.
Yeah, there it is.
That's him in the middle.
Yeah, the one on the track. Well, the one that's running on the track.
Yeah. Well, but it's in the frame. On the video, it might be hard to see.
Right.
But if I skip a little bit forward, a person kind of comes into view. He really smoked everybody in that 200. So,
dude, that was nuts.
Yeah.
I remember on that same track watching Faith start running in the 200 and then being like, is everybody else running yet?
Yeah.
And I think that might be a similar situation there. Oh, man. Andrews.
Well, so I feel like we could all feel really good about Renasia Burton-Shaw.
Yeah.
I would. There's a handful of I could probably pick one of 5 kids, and I went into this going like, if it's one of these 5, I'd be totally fine with that.
Yeah.
I don't want Isaac Garcia to feel like he's snubbed.
I was just gonna say, so I'm having a bit of a change of heart but I think my wife's gonna be like shaking my head.
She's gonna shake your head.
Pregnancy brain.
You're gonna get home and she's gonna grab you on both sides of your face and just shake your head back and forth.
That sounds right.
That makes a lot of sense. I'm having the same kind of feeling that I had last week. Like I'm just expecting Renasia to do more. like in complete and utter dominance.
It's also
And here's my this. Let me know if this is dumb. You mentioned it earlier when talking about Isaac Garcia. There's some freak shows in 2A.
Yeah, that's actually the next thing I was about to say.
I'm kind of leaning towards Isaac right now because while he's going to be just as ridiculous, 2A is a different animal, and so I'm not sure if it'll jump off the page to us every week like it did this week.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. But then I also feel icky because that would be 2 Aberdeen Bobcats I'd be voting for in a row. And ugh.
Are you sure you want to have said that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
Well, I'm also like Isaac. I mean, I mentioned kind of off the bat I was jumping back and forth between Isaac Garcia and Reneja Burtonshaw. Mm-hmm. Isaac is a Bobcat, so you know Andrew's going to be good with it.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
Yeah, if we want to go Isaac Garcia, I'm good with that, and we'll do a list, a post with a list of honorable mentions again too. So, are we going to do
play
it?
that.
I'm good with that.
Play that. I'm sorry.
What?
I'm not going to be able to play that video.
Too much
okay.
foul language.
I don't. Have, I don't have a way to download it or play it all like maximized in a window.
Gotcha. Okay. Well,
it's seems to be.
Could you just like play it over my face?
I got it downloaded to
No,
my.
it would be like there's no way to make it. It would include
Oh,
the
I
rest
see.
of my video screen.
I see.
I got it downloaded to my phone, so I'll post it
Yeah,
to
we'll
our
post it.
socials. I'll
So
post it
you
to our
could
socials
download
later.
it.
We'll post it, Ricky.
Yeah,
What?
we'll post it so people can see.
It's annoying that I can't download it.
And now let's conclude this segment by saying Isaac Garcia of Aberdeen Track for maximum winning, including a couple of meet records at the Ray Ryan Memorial, Grays Harbor All-County meet. You are our Spivey Athlete of the Week. Congratulations. Go Cats. All of us believe that, including Daniel.
Yeah. Whew. You know what? That was a great little highlighted discussion there.
Yeah.
What I teased at the beginning of the show might come up next, or I might forget what it was. But you'll have to tune in to find out after this. Dang it, Andrew.
Spivey Realty Group's goal is to make buying, selling, investing, and renting real estate in Grays Harbor simple. They believe in 100% transparency and unparalleled communication with local expertise, tech-enhanced, and top-notch service for their friends, neighbors, and community. Their goal is simple: get a group of strong-willed, hard-working people together who want to make a difference in Grays Harbor and to use real estate as the means of achieving that. Voted Grays Harbor's best real estate company. Find them on Facebook or visit graceharborrealestate.com. Spivey Realty Group, elevating small town real estate.
Pax is, I'm teasing Pax right now.
How dare you? That is my friend Pax.
Yeah. Well, you're petting his rival, Mavis, right
They're not
now.
rivals, they're buddies.
So if he could only see you now, you're around the corner. Yeah.
I like it. The one thing Mavis does that Pax doesn't do is when you start like petting her and she gets kind of playful, she sticks her butt straight up in the air. It's really funny.
Here, before you said that random thing about a butt.
These are dogs, by the way.
yeah.
In case anyone's We're talking about dogs. I'm guessing probably people figured that out.
I hope so.
Just to be sure.
Yeah, I hope so. I feel like Pax and Mavis have a very similar relationship to my son and my daughter. Like the parallels are quite astounding as I start to think through it a little bit more. And Johanna's nodding her head profusely, so this might be a little bit too real of a thing to just briefly mention. We might have to do a deeper dive into this.
Let's do it. Let's make it the main topic of next week's show.
Oh, I really hope that Michigan State loses. I just saw a notification that says Michigan State needs a run, and man, if there is a program that I hate, no, they're not a program. They're Travis mockery. That's what they are.
Michigan State. I was kind of bummed
Oh, my
that
homies.
Tennessee lost so badly to Houston earlier because that would have been good for my bracket.
I just realized I realized when I was looking at my bracket earlier that I am the only person in the scrimmage bracket challenge with Houston as the champion. So I'm
Wow.
still in it.
You are still in it.
You know what, man? Houston looked pretty dang good today.
Yeah.
Like,
you
it
know
would
what?
not surprise me at all if they won it all.
You know, I looked at it at one point and I realized that I was the only person who lost my national champion the first weekend.
Yeah, you were the only one with St. John's, and there was a reason for that. Yeah. I was in second earlier, and now I'm in fourth because I lost Tennessee.
Oh, I'm way down at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like,
But you got a shot.
But that
Yeah.
is a little bit strategic because I always pick stupid upsets. So I'm always going to be bad in the first few weeks.
Which
I
Ben
pick
is the
stupid,
Ben
too.
that's in our...
What?
The guy at the top of our
Ben?
bracket
I don't know.
challenge is Ben.
Who is that?
I know several Bens.
Yes. But this one is killing it.
This one, if Auburn wins, will have all of the Final Four right.
Jeez.
And they have Florida over Duke in the title game, which also seems kind of like the most likely outcome. I was trying to see how many Elite Eight teams that Ben got right.
Did you say it was the most likely outcome because it was the one you picked?
They were just the two favorites. They were the two top pick teams off the bat.
Gotcha.
It looks like Ben got the entire Elite Eight right,
Yes.
and if Auburn wins, he will get the entire Final Four right.
Dude, that is nuts. I've never done that. And I've done multiple brackets some years.
I mean, it is a super chalky
have you ever
tournament.
done multiple serious brackets though? Because I feel like usually I've done
Yeah.
multiple brackets too, but I've only done one that I was like, yeah, I think this is the right one.
Yeah.
The other one is like
Here's the thing, though.
this is what I think would happen if the mascots.
We're
won.
on the,
Well, I do that. Yeah.
we're on the brink of 4 1 seeds being the Final Four teams.
Yeah.
And
That's-
all of the Elite Eights were either 1-2 or 1-3.
Yeah.
So
So
it's
does that mean seeding is working well?
well, that's where I'm kind of landing on this is I don't know if it's more or less impressive to have such a good bracket this year because if you just picked a
That-
buttload of chalk,
That's true.
then you did really well.
Right, which
Well,
is why
also-
I'm still in it.
But a
because
buttload of chalk almost never happens,
I
though.
picked a 1 seed to win.
Yeah.
I picked a lot of chalk, but it was because I looked at it at the beginning and I was like, man, I really think the top tier of teams is the best.
Right. This year was very weird.
Yeah.
There was no mid-majors or smaller colleges after the first weekend.
I'm really mad.
Not one.
Yeah, that's true.
Colorado State was the closest, and, they just let that one kid, run a mile without dribbling before hitting the game winner. What was that, Maryland?
Yeah.
Did anybody else complain about that, or just Brock Eward?
No, that was a major national storyline
About how
Also,
he took... I mean, it was 3 big steps.
but because he didn't have
Is that 2 Euro steps?
there's a little debate going on between rules specialists on this, which is why traveling is such a freaking
Dude,
weird
I just
Traveling's
want to
bizarre.
say
traveling's bizarre
that
because
basketball rules specialists are so incredibly far down my list of people I will take seriously.
I think that's fair. Also, it might not have been a travel because he didn't have possession of the ball until after the first step. happened.
Brilliant!
He was like in a mode where the ball was on the ground and he didn't have either hand on it. Then the foot went down. Then he grabs the ball with 2 hands. Then he goes step, step, shoot. So
Well, then that's not traveling.
exactly. But some people
I don't
are still
remember
looking at
watching
going-
it.
Some people are still looking at it going, okay, but you're the one who dribbled the ball. So just the fact that you haven't gathered it yet doesn't mean you get to take an extra step. This is why traveling is so confusing.
No,
because-
it does, though. Like, if you want to take that risk of somebody else poking the ball away, like... That normally I'm on the that's a travel side of things, right?
Yeah,
like,
you love to be.
I'd love to say that's a travel.
You like to be a fly in the pudding.
You didn't do a 360 dunk. You did a 180.
You love to yuck people's yum.
Yes, exactly. I hate yum. Get out of here with your yum.
And that shot was yummy.
Yeah.
That was a
Dude,
yummy
the shot was yummy. But if you dribble a ball, like say you dribble it really hard and it bounces 4 feet, and then you run 6 steps, and then you catch the dribble and lay it in, that's not a travel.
Really love the way you pantomimed running. Bad for the audio only audience. Sorry about that.
But that's not a travel, right?
No, it's not. In fact, actually, Giannis, when he runs his
Dude,
camps,
Giannis never. That
he
guy's
teaches
crazy.
the kids, hey, if you're on a fast break, don't dribble the ball. That's dumb. Throw it out ahead of yourself. That
Yeah.
way you can just grab it and dunk it.
Exactly.
Because everyone's a 6'10" freak athlete.
Exactly.
You should probably throw
No,
it
but
at
that's-
the backboard so that you can just oop it.
LeBron did that.
And that's the thing, though. It's not a travel
Yeah.
if you don't have the ball in your hands.
I watched that play. Going back to the Maryland one, I watched it and I looked at it and I was like, "That's a travel."
Yeah, same
But
here.
then there was a big debate, and obviously I'm a Maryland guy. That's one of my teams. So
Shocking.
I was happy that it turned out the way that it did, but I was like, that looks like a travel. And then I realized as I was going through it that there's a lot of debate over whether, even among experts, rules experts,
Hey,
what's a travel and what's not.
I didn't watch it close enough to see that he didn't have the ball.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then that's the case, in my opinion. I call everything a travel except for when Stevie Thompson took like 6 gather steps right before hitting a game-winning 3-pointer over the Ducks like 5 years ago. So,
Stevie Thompson.
yeah, Ethan's older brother.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah,
I was going to say, I thought it was Ethan Thompson.
yeah, but Stevie hit the game winner.
2-minute drill.
Oh.
Let's go. Hurry. Gotta hurry. Hey, 2-minute situation. 44 seconds. Hand the ball to the ref. Gonna do it right. 3 jet Buckeye on 1 3.
The 2-minute drill starts now.
The stupid Blue Devils from Duke have blown away their competition to advance to the Elite Eight, including crushing an Alabama team yesterday 85-65. Wow, which had put up 113 points on its previous opponent. What? Wait, Alabama put up 113 points in a tournament
They
game?
made 25 threes, shattered the record for 3-pointers in an NCAA tournament.
That's
They
nutsos.
scored too many points.
Yes,
They would have
used
Alabama.
them all
That
up.
was against BYU. They would have won that game had they never made a 2-pointer. They would have won just
Dude.
by 3-pointers and free throws.
You know what?
Here,
They used them all up.
You wanna-
Justin, you predicted this in your bracket, but you also have Duke losing to Florida in the title game. Has their performance changed your mind, and do you feel dirty for picking Duke?
I didn't pick Duke to win the title, so no, I don't feel dirty.
I didn't even pick them to get past the first weekend in
But-
solidarity, but little did I know.
I want to pick against Duke early all the time because usually Duke teams are a lot of smoke and mirrors. This team is really freaking good. And I hate to say it, but I think that if somebody in this tournament's going to beat them, they're going to have a bad day. The Seattle Mariners signed Cal Raleigh to a 6-year, $105 million contract extension.
That's a lot of money.
Contract? Daniel, was this a good move for the thrifty organization?
Absolutely. I'm excited that they did this. I'm a little surprised that Cal Raleigh agreed to it, but you know what? Especially playing catcher, you never know how well your health and your knees are going to hold up, so it makes a bit of a difference there in that side of the decision-making things to be like, you know what? This is a great offer. I'm going to take this one. Maybe I'll get a chance to really break the bank later, but who knows playing catcher if my knees are going to hold up. This was great for both
Also,
sides.
think about the pitchers that he's working with.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
like-
what if they don't stay?
Well,
Because he got all the money.
he's met the younger pitchers too.
The ones that are going to be under club control
I just
for like 6
I think
more
that there's
years.
something to be
Yeah,
said.
that's a
for
good point.
The pitching not just the pitchers, but the entire staff. They clearly have something going there that I would believe is attractive to a catcher.
I will say, I am 98% sure that Logan Gilbert will sign here because of this. Justin,
Yep.
your New England, your what? Your New England Patriots?
Yeah, that's one of my teams. What's wrong with that?
Signed Stephon Galmore. No, signed Stefan Diggs last week to pair with second-year quarterback Drake May. Oh, there it is. Right. Forgot about that. There it is. Drake May, will this move pay off for the Pats? And are they already competitive this year, or will a star receiver ruin a young quarterback?
It's possible that a star receiver might ruin a young quarterback. What if they also pick Travis Hunter? Like, they've got a really high draft pick in this.
That guy's not that good.
They can either draft Travis Hunter or they can help fortify the
They
offensive
should go
line.
get a good receiver.
The Patriots are going to compete this year, and it's going to be thanks to Drake May. Daniel, how do you feel about your Seattle Mariners' performance in their season opening series against the Oakland Athletics, and how big of a deal is this series in the grand scheme of things?
Woo! No! Ah! Woo! Ah! Yeah!
Julio!
That's how I felt. It was woo! Yeah! Julio!
That's a lot of noises.
Yeah.
Daniel, how excited are you for the bowling pin bats?
Dude, that's a fascinating discussion. I can't wait to dive into it more.
We can watch that video when you guys would like.
Yes,
now.
absolutely.
You want to watch it right now?
Oh, the track one?
Yeah.
Oh, you have the dude. Ricky's probably long gone by now, but in case Ricky's still here, let's fire up that video. I want to see him dominate.
Lida,
Oh,
you want to take her?
Oh, yeah.
you just did that like
She's
magic.
my little.
Do you have audio?
Down a little further down, you got to go
You had to cut it up.
yell them in.
Oh,
Just kidding.
those track coaches.
Okay, well, I'll be recording.
You could skip like the first 15 seconds of the video.
Well,
It's building the
Or
we
ambiance.
don't have audio. Oh, there it is.
I'm right here.
Oh, nope. Wait, on your mark. Get set. Bang. Yeah, I
Ricky's still here.
provided the audio.
Ricky, are you okay with if we call you Ricky? I always wish you were Ricardo.
Go, Richie! Come on!
So you see them coming around the bend here in the video, and now you only see Ricky.
Yeah.
You see only Ricky and nobody else, and then there's someone
There he is.
eventually. There's a few guys behind him. So good.
And my favorite about stuff like that is those are other fast people.
Yeah. It's not like they put him in a heat with the slow people.
Yeah, he wasn't running in the fourth heat of the 200 at the
Exactly.
Grace Harbor All-County meet. He's running with the fastest people, and he made those people look not fast.
Yeah, that old movie quote. He makes fast people look not fast. That's awesome, dude. Ricky, thank you for sending us that, and also thank you for sticking it out and watching the whole show. I appreciate it. We are so excited for what you're going to do this year throughout the entire track season. That was awesome. So, real quick before your favorite part of the show,
Yeah.
my Julio take that I brought up before is...
Are you just a Julio hater?
Am I just a Julio hater? Andrew...
He might as well be Geno Smith to you.
No, that is not the case. He is not Geno Smith to me.
I'm
But am I wrong in thinking that Julio... Okay. That Julio Rodriguez... I want to make sure I get the wording right on this. I actually messaged this somewhere. I want to
Do you
love...
have other message groups besides the one that's
You're
just
in
between
both
them?
of the ones I sent this to. Andrew, I think, isn't in one of them.
He's not in the baseball one because
Yeah.
he didn't join the league.
I know. I want
Sometimes
to...
that group chat's so good.
Yeah, it's awesome. I want to love Julio Rodriguez, but I think he might have been crowned as a superstar when he's just a good player. And I think because he was crowned and paid like a superstar, I personally can't just appreciate him for what he is. A good player. A fun guy, plays good center field, fast, and goes on super streaky monster mashes where he's amazing. But guess what? He's
Well,
normally
where he's
kind
like
of a good player
historically amazing.
for like a couple weeks at a time.
Right.
Yes.
But
But the rest of the time, he's kind of...
so
And then...
I'm not saying this in opposition to you.
Right.
I think that if you show, listen, there's a lot of players who are consistently average, and
Yeah.
nobody hates them.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you show the ability to be like literally
Otherworldly.
the best player that's ever played the game for a month at a time, and you can you can't find that and become a real. You don't have to be the best player that's ever consistently. Like, you don't have to be the best player ever consistently. But if he doesn't ever figure out how to be consistently like well above average, then it will be very disappointing. Because he's shown us highs. He's shown us that he's has the ability to have incredible highs.
Yes.
So
I think I picked him number 2 overall in last year's fantasy baseball draft.
So you're saying...
I'm saying in your defense, he is not just a normal player. He has shown the ability to be really, really incredibly good, and so far has not shown an ability to be consistently, significantly above average.
Yes. And I think if the Mariners didn't see his rookie season and go, oh my gosh, he's a superstar, let's pay him like one, then we could all just be enjoying Julio Rodriguez right now. But now they have put him in the position where if Julio's not otherworldly, if he's not playing superstar level baseball, they're not very good. And so that makes us all go, because all we hear constantly is, if Julio does great, then this team does great. What if he's not great? What if he's good? But you have thrown us, we have our superstar, now let's just build around him for 4 years now, or 3 years now. And it's like, maybe he's just a good player. Can you go get a real superstar, please? Like,
Juan
Soto, I mean,
that ship.
You're not going to get Bobby Witt, but Bobby Witt is what everybody thought Julio Rodriguez was going to be. And it's like, maybe we, jumped the gun on that a little bit. Like, you didn't have to give him a mega deal after his rookie season. Baseball is bonkers with how much player control you have for how long, and instead you were like, let's do this now before he even thinks about leaving. Oh gosh, he's not actually that good. Like, that's what I'm worried about. And I said this last year too. So it's not like I'm like 2 games into the season and freaking out. It's just I saw Julio. It came back up because I saw Julio Rodriguez literally swing at a ball that got spiked 3 feet in front of the plate.
So in this situation,
that was so bad
that the Mariners spent too much money.
Yes, they spent too much money on the.
I'm not even going to argue with you. I just want to appreciate the irony.
Yes, but not even spent too much money, Andrew. I think it goes a layer deeper than that because it's not spent
it badly.
And not only spent it badly, they were so worried about having to spend money that they were like, we better get this done now so we can get this guy on a discount. Because if we wait longer, then he'll be too expensive for us. But if we give him a 13-year contract right now, then we don't have to pay what he's actually worth. And so it was a cheapskate move, and it put way too much pressure on him, not only for him to try and live up to the contract, but also because they were like, we have our star, we paid him, we don't have to get anybody else.
Yeah.
And that's what hosed the organization. That's what I think. And until he proves it, that's what I'm going to think. And that pisses me off because I can't enjoy the fun player that Julio is, because if he's not superstar Julio, then our team's not very good.
Yeah.
Instead of him being like second fiddle to an actual stud we brought in, I have to go, oh man, I hope Julio's awesome. Oh, he struck out again looking like a moron. Thank you.
He hit a home run today, sir.
He did. He hit an absolute nuke, and he smoked it. But he looked horrible last night in a situation where he could have made a difference. Horrible. He swung at a pitch that literally hit 2 to 3 feet in front of the plate, and then he watched one go right down the middle after that for strike 3.
When you sent that message to our group, you didn't even say who it was, and I haven't been watching games, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I knew you were talking about Julio because it was the message that came from you, and I was like, oh, Daniel's the guy who freaks out when Julio's bad.
Am I wrong? I feel like sadly I'm right on this. I don't want to be right on this. I want Julio Rodriguez to be amazing.
So it's not Gino, because then you were rooting against Gino to be right.
Yeah.
And you wanted him to be bad.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is different.
This is different. I would love for Julio to go off this year and me to go, wow, I'm so glad I was wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm legitimately bummed out that this super young kid got thrown into, you have to be the superstar for us to be good.
So are you giving
When
up
he's
on,
a good player.
Are you giving up on the idea that
He's
he's
not
going to
Jared-
be a superstar?
Yes. He's not Jared Kelnick. He's not an to bad player. But I don't think he's Bobby Witt. And that's what this organization planned everything around, was him being Bobby Witt, Juan Soto, Aaron Judge.
Players in the game.
Exactly. That's what they pinned on him instead of him being able to be Freeman.
Yeah.
Andrew, where are you on where Julio's
not
trajectory
as
is?
emotionally involved as Daniel, but I am worried that he might be right. Does that make sense?
You're not quite as sure about it as he is, but you're worried about it. Because it
I'm
seems like
worried
Daniel's
about
already
it.
gotten to the point where Daniel is ready to be like,
got
okay,
sure
Julio's
really
a good
fast.
player.
I think Daniel was worried about it when it happened. I think that's the problem is that Daniel was worried about it when it happened, and now he's like, I have seen a couple years of confirmation of what I was worried about. And I'm not nearly as deeply invested in the Mariners as Daniel is. I'm like, I hope he's not right.
Did you guys both subscribe to the new Mariners thing?
I did.
Yeah.
I got to help pay their salary,
So
man.
I'm the only loser here who didn't.
Dude, if you want to actually see him do well, you got to start putting your own money into it,
Here's the thing.
apparently.
Here's
Apparently,
the thing.
billionaires can't fund their own teams, so, they need my $20.
Well,
Here's
Stanton's
the
a poor.
thing. $20 a month is way less than a Fubo subscription,
Right.
which is what I was paying last year.
Yeah.
That was $118 a month.
I mean, I've just been pirating
is
it for free for years, so
$20
I
a
feel,
month.
feel like I should finally. I mean, I just haven't been watching baseball for years, so I better,
Daniel
thought it was-
preferred listening until Dave Sims left, and now Daniel is getting interested in
Where did Sims go?
He's a New York broadcaster now. Did you not read?
Did you
did
not
watch
watch
that video that I sent you?
I did watch it, but I didn't get it.
You didn't understand it because it's Dave Sims,
I didn't.
who is now a Yankees broadcaster.
He was a Mariners broadcaster before.
That's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so
Yeah.
the guy's like, "You're not used to this."
It all- Wait, wasn't it a woman?
Yep. Andrew doesn't
Sorry.
see gender.
I didn't listen to it. I just saw everyone talking about it.
Sorry, that was sexist of me. I apologize.
Oh, that's the thing, though. And I hear people arguing on the other side of it, and I know that if they traded Julio Rodriguez tomorrow, that Mike Salk will be like, "I've always said that Julio's not." But instead, what I hear Mike Salk say now is, yeah, because as soon as they traded Geno Smith, he's like, "We've been saying for years how he's not a very good leader, and we hear all these stories about he does all these bad things for the team." And I'm like, I've never.
to Geno Smith.
I'm like, dude, I listen to your
I
show
do feel
every
concerned
day.
about how-
I listen to your show every day. You've never harped on the fact that Geno's a bad leader, and yet as soon as
harped on it, for
he's got traded, he's like, "Oh, we've said for years how Geno's not a good leader," and I'm like, when? What are you talking about?
Oh, were you expecting integrity and consistency from Mike Salk?
Yeah.
Because those aren't his specialties.
Guys,
But what he
Sorry,
says
okay,
now
I'm sorry. I
is,
don't want to
think-
jeopardize Andrew and Elma here.
yeah, goddamn, man. I think, to be fair, there's a difference between
Dumb.
not a great leader and a bad leader.
right?
I don't think anyone.
But they
has
painted
said
him
that
as a bad
Geno-
leader as soon as he left.
That's what I didn't quite get. I got more of a maybe they need somebody who's a good leader, not he was a bad leader.
Yeah, and then as soon as he left, he's like, he
No,
was
I'm saying-
yelling at people. He was DK didn't like him. They were garbage. I was
This
like,
is where
whoa,
I
where did
feel
this
like-
come from?
This is where I feel like your Geno hatred colors the way that you interpret what's
What Mike
said.
Salk was saying?
Yeah.
Really? You didn't think that he all of a sudden started saying after he was traded that Geno was a bad leader and that his own receivers didn't like him?
Didn't like him?
Yeah, he said that the relationship between DK Metcalf and Geno Smith is why they decided to trade him.
And he said that DK didn't like him?
Yeah.
But
He
then
said
they
they hated
traded
each
DK?
other.
But then they traded DK.
Now they're both gone.
Yeah, now they're both
So
gone
maybe,
because
maybe it was a mutual problem.
yes, in reality, I'm saying what
they're
Mike
both
Salk
jerks?
said, Andrew.
Oh, okay.
I'm
sorry.
arguing
I'm
about
talking about
Salk's.
how
I'm
you're
not talking about.
interpreting
I'm not.
what's being said.
No,
not
I don't care about.
specific
I don't
things.
care about what's real. I'm just saying. I'm just saying what Mike Salk is saying.
That goes on. That's Daniel's quote on the new shirt.
Yeah,
I don't care about what's real.
no, I don't
Okay.
care about what's really
Okay.
going on in the locker room. I'm just saying that Mike Salk is on one day going, Geno Smith is a good leader and a good guy for this football team, and the next moment going, he's a terrible leader. His receivers hated him, and I'm like, what?
Okay. I
And what I'm
won't
sa-
argue with that. I guess I'm more going back to like I do think that Geno. I still think that Geno is an above average quarterback
Yes.
in the NFL,
Yes.
and I
Well, I don't know about above average. Maybe he's an average quarterback. Maybe he's an above average.
easily average.
He's an above average quarterback who's old and so not trending in the right
okay,
direction.
I'll give you that absolutely. Like he only has a couple more years of acceptable performance. left.
Maybe one.
Fair.
I realize I'm on the Geno hater side of that. So, but what I'm saying,
I love that I managed to successfully turn that from a Julio conversation to a Geno Smith conversation.
I'm about to bring it back.
That was a
So
good
the
job,
way the way that this pulls together, because everybody right now is going, how did this happen? We were talking about Julio Rodriguez.
Daniel hates both of them. Sorry, dude.
So true, though. So true, King. You're right about that.
But I feel like I would love Julio if he wasn't built up to be what he is. And the reason why I brought Mike Salk into this is his argument is still, well, he's only 24. And Brock goes, yeah, but what about all of the superstars who broke in when they were super young? And he goes, oh, yeah, but those are all just, the few superstars. And I'm like,
And yeah,
yes, that's what you're saying Julio is. You're saying he's Juan Soto. You're saying he's Bobby Witt. You're saying he's Ronald Acuna. And those guys all busted in at 20 years old and have been dominant
Alex Rodriguez.
since then. Alex
Yes.
Rodriguez, Ken Griffey Jr. The list goes on and on.
Felix Hernandez.
You're saying, yes, you're saying
Felix
he's,
Hernandez doesn't count. He's a pitcher.
but you're saying he's all of those things until you're like,
Well, he's still give him time.
Exactly.
Which at this point
he's had
he is
4 years,
not
3 years,
in
whatever
that
it is.
category.
Yes, he's not in that
He-
category.
if-
Can we just
if
appreciate
he
him?
becomes the best baseball player that's ever played, he will still not be in that category. Because he has not. The story about him will be he came in and struggled and then put it together and became the best baseball player that ever played. That is at this point he is struggling.
Yes, absolutely. Anyway,
I'm so with you, Daniel, because I think that's like my general philosophy on sports is, can we just kind of appreciate whatever amount of success we have?
exactly.
And your whole argument centers around the fact that
we can't.
we can't appreciate Julio for what he is because he was billed as something else.
Yes.
Yeah.
So no matter if he could graduate from being a good player to being a really good player, and it's not going to be good enough, and people are still going to hate him.
If he were a
Yes.
really good player through the entirety of his career, then I think we will be able to appreciate that he's being paid as a really good player instead of as a superstar at the end of his career.
Only if they get another superstar. Because the problem with
here-
that's the other
I'm
thing.
saying, like, at the tail end of his career, if he's still, inflation will have happened.
Yes.
He will be getting paid less than most of the really good players. If he is
thought inflation was a
playing
Biden thing.
really good, if he is playing really good, shockingly, Justin, if he's playing really good at the end of his contract, I do think that we will be able to, with 10 years of solid above average play, be able to not, I think that he would be able to overcome it by the end of a contract. But it would still be a failure of like an organizational failure if they never bring someone better in.
Yes. Which, yes, absolutely. All right, Justin.
Are we moving on?
I think it's time for your. Unless you want to start talking about torpedo bats.
I just love it when Justin says he just appreciates whatever his team does.
I think I do get what you're saying. I don't know if that was a shot at the fact that I have like 40 teams, or if it's the fact that I pick some teams that are really good at stuff. But
when you have a really good team, if they struggle, you don't appreciate them for being a really good team.
I think maybe I'm wrong here. It's really hard to judge oneself. Okay.
Whoa. Do we need to mark this on the calendar somewhere?
With loser's mentality sometimes on this show because I don't always say it's championship or bust. Like I want to be able to celebrate levels of accomplishment.
Yes.
And so like if I have I'll just use Carolina because that's my main team. If there's a team that's like
main piece.
If it's like, okay, I'm going into the season and like, oh, this is a team that should make the Final Four.
Yes.
And they miss the tournament,
you'll be upset.
I'll be upset. But most seasons, if they make the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8, I'm going to be fine with that.
Exactly. And you are really good at that.
Yeah.
Andrew's shot was the times where you do have a team that should go to the Final Four.
And that's fair.
Yeah. You get upset when they lose any game.
Yes, that's
lose
the
a game.
Yeah.
If you decide that the team should be in the Final Four, then early in the season, you're mad because they lost a game.
True. I've actually learned that I need a buffer period. Like because typically I'm always angry when they lose a game, and so sometimes I need to be like,
even when he doesn't think they should make the Sweet 16.
I need to give myself a couple of hours.
Yeah.
I'm not going to text anybody about what happened here. I'm going to wait until I've calmed down.
You need to stop that.
Yeah. But instead, let's move on. That's yes, I get exactly where you're coming from. So let's move on to my favorite part of the show.
Where did it go?
Whack!
Serving questions up on a silver platter where the points are made up and the rules don't matter. Time for Stump Daniel.
Stump Daniel is brought to you by the law office of Jeffrey A. Domashevitz, no relation.
What's the A stand for?
Daniel, I decided, in honor of baseball season starting, and
somebody should tell the Mariners offense.
Julio got the memo today. My general disinterest in baseball, I wanted to go back in the Wayback Machine.
Oh.
To a time in which I was paying attention to
baseball. Have you had one of these cookies yet?
No.
They're freaking amazing.
I will be shoving 4 of them in my mouth before we leave.
Good.
The cookies. And Daniel, I wanted to go in the Wayback Machine.
Yes.
And talk about a grander time in baseball. Dare I say, a better time.
Oh.
And I want to know how much you remember about that time.
Glory days. Sorry, Andrew stepped away for a moment.
In the year 2001.
Oh, it was a glorious time.
It was a glorious year. And
until
obviously,
October.
We all remember what happened with the Mariners. They won 116 games.
Yep.
They had a historically amazing team. Daniel, I want to know how much you remember about the rest of the league at that time.
Ooh.
So I have in front of me 6 categories.
Okay.
We're getting back to our roots here in Stump Daniel.
Our roots?
With weird, convoluted scoring systems.
Our scoring system roots?
Our scoring system roots.
Okay.
I have 6 categories. You're going to be allowed to guess 5 players.
Oh, man, we're going deep.
If you guess the top guy in this category, you get 1 point. Second guy, you get 2 points. Third guy, you get 3 points, blah, blah, so on and so forth. You have to get somebody who's in the top 5.
Got it.
To register points, you only get 5 guesses per category.
Okay.
If you have 40 points or less, Duck Zone. 50 to 57, Husky Zone.
Okay.
58 to 69,
Nice.
Coug Zone. 70 plus, Beav Zone. The Beaver Zone, the greatest of all zones.
All the zones. Our zones are always college-based. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
Because
Except when they're not.
sports
Is
are
that-
the one true sport?
Is that like because we just have more visceral emotions for things in college, whereas our pro things, as much as I like the Mariners, there's something just a little bit more passionate about college sports.
At this point in my life, I have virtually no emotion over pro sports, like pretty much whatsoever.
That's what happens when LeBron James goes to the enemy.
Who?
Exactly. And then is dumb. But now, it really sucks, dude. How did you do it when you loved LeBron and he went to the Lakers? Because I like Luka.
Yeah.
And I'll get these like Luka highlights on my phone and I'll be like, oh yeah, Luka. Oh no. Oh, I feel dirty.
Daniel.
That's how I feel.
Right, because you haven't got on board with the new way to watch basketball, which I think is you don't pay attention to the teams at all. You're just a fan of the player.
But he's wearing purple.
Isn't that... Listen, I'm not telling you what I believe. I don't like any of the basketball.
Okay.
But Justin has told us this has been a thing over like the past 5 years.
Okay.
Where like NBA fans are fans of their players and it doesn't seem to matter who they play for.
I'll try.
Isn't that true?
Yeah, I think so.
I'll try.
I think that's the trend. That's the way things are trending.
But it's still the...
And it kind of makes sense to
still
me
the
because
Lakers.
when I watch NBA briefly as I'm trying to find a TV without NBA on it at the restaurant, it looks like they line up and one guy who has the ball does something fancy and everybody else goes, oh, cool. And then they go and do it at the other end of the court.
I could see how you would think that. You know what? I won't fully sell out to that until players start having their own advertisements on their own jerseys. Like NASCAR players.
Dude, they could totally get sponsored tattoos, couldn't they?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they all have their own shoes, so that's one way to do it.
That's true.
Dude, we've totally sidetracked. I don't care. Justin usually sidetracks things on purpose.
I was going to say, Daniel, I'm working with you here.
Thank you. Yeah.
I was actually glad you guys did that because I was having a hard time getting to the thing that I wanted to get to on my phone.
Did you think Chris Carson didn't go to Oklahoma State or something like that?
Okay. I thought he went to Butler Community College.
Oh,
Daniel...
Chase hopping on here says, Justin, your thoughts on Duke's performance in the tournament so far? Yeah, well, he picked him to go to the title game, Chase. So obviously he's a turncoat and a horrible person.
Yeah, he didn't have the intestinal fortitude to pick them to lose their first game.
He likes being right too much.
I actually don't have a response to that.
Dude, Chase, did we not have this exact conversation last year? This feels like deja vu.
Okay, moving on. Daniel.
Justin.
Give me the top 5 players.
Okay.
In wins as a pitcher.
In 2001?
In 2001.
And is this across all MLB or American League
All
National
MLB.
League?
All MLB.
Randall Johnson.
Randall Johnson was tied for 3rd, so you get 3 points for that.
Curtis Schilling.
Curtis Schilling tied for 1st with 22 wins. Randy Johnson had 21, by the way, so you get 1 point for Curtis Schilling.
The Rocket. Roger Royden Clemens.
Roger Royden Clemens is 5th with 20 wins, which is freaking crazy.
That's nuts.
But you get 5 points for that. You're doing really well so far in this category.
Pedro Throw It Your Face Martinez.
Pedro Martinez not on
Dang
the
it.
list, and boy, he must have been hurt. He's not even showing in the top 15.
Oh, wow. Ooh, I missed that one.
So you got an X there, but you do have 9 points already in this category, and you've got one more guess to
Oh,
go.
Chase says we will have this conversation every year. Maybe one day UNC will be good enough again for Justin to throw it back in my face. Is this the team that also,
Hey, listen,
totally
Chase.
spoiled your legendary coaches last season? Just throwing that out there.
UNC is a football school now. They ruined. They successfully completed their basketball arc, and now
Andrew,
Conversation is not fun.
Andrew,
for me.
I was trying to help Justin, and then you just.
This conversation isn't fun for me. The good thing about this category, Daniel, is there are 3 guys tied in 5th, so those are worth 5 points each. So if you get one of those guys, you could actually get basically bonus points.
Freddie Garcia.
That was a bad guess.
Darn it.
You got another X. I think Freddie won 18 games that year.
It's amazing.
Yeah, he did. He won 18 games that year. But you missed a Mariner.
Jamie Moyer?
Yeah, you got too many guesses. So you could have had 5 more points if you got Jamie Moyer, who won 20 games that year.
I went with Freddie instead of Jamie.
But you still did pretty well. You got 9 points in that category, so you're well on your way to a solid performance here. Matt Morris tied. He was from the Cardinals.
What?
Tied Kurt Schilling with 22 wins that year.
Who's that guy?
All the other names you'll know. Tied for third with Randy Johnson was Mark Mulder.
Dude. At Nija B says, do y'all want my track videos from Aberdeen?
Is that Renasia?
And she says, it's Renasia Burtonshaw.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yes, please. Send them to our socials, please.
Yes. 100%
Yes.
Renasia.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Always the answer is yes to that. Daniel tied with the roiding Rocket Roger Clemens and Jamie Moyer was Lieber with 20 wins. Is it John Lieber?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Wow.
From the Cubs.
Okay.
Yeah, John Lieber.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good
but,
pull.
But you did okay there. You got 9 points in the first category.
Okay.
All right.
Sweet.
Next category is earned run average. Give me the top 5 guys in earned run average.
My dad has qualms about your scoring system,
He should.
but I don't know why.
It's convoluted, and that was the point.
Yeah. Earned run average. I'm gonna go
He
with.
thinks you should get more points for the top guy.
Probably. I don't know. He said something about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, not 1 through 5.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Ask him what a matter baby is.
What's the matter, baby?
Nothing, sugar. What's the matter with you?
Hey, do you know why you shouldn't brush your teeth with your left hand?
No.
Because you should use a toothbrush.
You're a nerd.
My brother told me that
That's
one.
a good
You
one.
guys are such good dads.
ERA, Daniel. Top 5 guys in ERA.
Does this count relievers?
Oh, hold on. Renasia wants to know how to send them. The best thing you could probably do is go to either our Facebook page or our Instagram. I don't know. Does Instagram do videos over Messenger?
Twitter
Okay,
does too.
two options or 3 options for you, Renasia. You either go to Facebook and send them to us by message, Twitter, send them to us by message, or email them to thescrimmage@gmail.com.
Sometimes emailing videos is tough because they're so big.
Yeah.
So Facebook's probably the best way.
Okay.
Facebook Messenger?
Yeah.
Do kids still have Facebook?
Well, if Renasia doesn't have Facebook, I know her mom does.
Okay.
So she can.
X works too.
Yeah.
Oh, X works.
Oh, I said Twitter. Bad
Yeah.
job by me.
Yeah.
Daniel, earned run average.
Do relievers count?
These are all starters.
All starters.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think relievers do count, but I don't think any of them were on this list.
That seems weird.
I just went to ERA leaders, and this is what came
Cool.
up. So maybe there's a minimum innings pitch.
Let's go back to Curtis Schilling.
Curtis Schilling was second. That's correct. You get 2 points for that.
Let's go to Randall Johnson.
Randall Johnson was first. You get 1 point for that. Take that, Dad.
Yeah. Let's go with the Rocket Royden Roger Clemens.
Roger Clemens not on the list. That's
Ooh.
going to be an X there.
Ouch. Let's go with, since I missed him on the last one, let's go with the opposite of the Rocket Royden Roger Clemens, Jamie Slow-Mo Moyer.
Also not on the list.
Dang it.
Hang on for 1 second.
Renasia says she sent them on Facebook.
Okay, perfect. I'm so bad at navigating these things. Earned run average. Okay, so what were the ones you got wrong? Jamie Moyer, not in the top 10. Andrew, stop laughing at me.
I was laughing at Chase.
Okay.
Roger Clemens?
Roger Clemens, also not in the top 10.
Yeah. You asked the ones I got wrong, and I told you the ones I got wrong.
I just wanted to see if they were in the top 10.
Oh, not even in the top. Oh,
Not
that's
even-
what you're saying. Not
even
even in the top 10. Gotcha.
Okay. All right, give me one more. You got one more guess here. You only have 3 points. Really struggling here.
2001, you say?
Yeah, what happened in 2001 that was significant? Like, who was really good in 2001?
Oh, okay. Sorry. You started saying significant things that happened in 2001.
Who was really good in 2001? Daniel, that you would care about?
That I would care about?
Yeah.
You're giving me faces that are confusing me. I care about so many pitchers who might have been good in 2001.
Yeah, you do. There's 2 of them on this list.
Oh, no. Greg Maddux?
Greg Maddux is number 4.
That was
good.
That was a good hint.
Thank you.
That was a good hint.
Also, number 5 was Freddie Garcia.
Yeah.
So you missed that one.
Okay.
And also 3rd was Burkett, which I think was a Marlins pitcher.
Marlins.
Yeah.
Chase says, believe me, I'm not happy that Bill Belichick went to UNC of all places.
That's
You know
what I was
what?
laughing about.
Yeah.
That's okay. Not much of this has been fun for me with Chase involved.
Yeah.
Strikeouts, Daniel. You got 7 points in that one, so you're up to 16. It was not quite as strong of a showing as the first category, but
Dude,
you
I
did,
feel
you
like
did
I'm just
okay.
I feel like I'm just saying the same names over and over again.
A
here.
lot of them are on all the lists.
Kurt Schilling.
Kurt Schilling is number 2.
Randy Johnson.
Randy Johnson is number 1.
It's
you only
almost
get
like
1 point for getting the
it's-
number 1 guy. Take that, Dad.
It's almost like they won the World Series that year.
Weird.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's go with Roger Clemens, a strikeout pitcher.
That is not on the list.
What?
Pretty shocking.
Let's go with that Burkett dude.
Burkett,
Dang it.
not on the list.
Freddie Garcia.
Freddie Garcia, not on the list.
Bergaflickle.
Sorry. Here's the other 3, and this is as I was compiling these lists, I was just sitting at my table just smiling, and my wife looked at me and she was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "It's 2001 baseball."
Yeah.
I'm like, I just know
pure nostalgia.
all these names are making me feel good. Here's this one, and forget the fact
Francis. Gosh dang it.
that Francis said former Yankee Randy Johnson. Daniel. I got messages. Hold on a second. Filibuster
I
for
don't-
1 second here.
I don't think. I think Francis got that one wrong.
Yes, we know Roger Clemens was a roiding Yankee. We absolutely know that.
Bats.
Did Randy Johnson play for the Yankees?
Yeah, I think he did. Didn't he play there right at the end
Right
of his
at the
career?
I
end,
doubt
yeah.
Francis is lying.
Yeah.
Well, that's a stupid thing to say.
I don't know.
He's all about finding very inconvenient truths.
That's a good point.
Okay, I had you filibuster because I got 2 messages from Renee's mom with her videos from her training.
Nice.
So
Nice.
okay, here are the names, and I want you.
Wait.
You already used all your guesses.
No, I didn't.
You got 3
I
strikes
thought I
and
had
you got
one.
2 right.
I thought I had one left.
No. Well, I wrote 3 X's on this page.
We might have to review the tape. No, I think you're right, but you weren't sounding like you were. You were sounding like you were going to give me another guess.
No, I was sounding like I want you to ignore the fact that this category is closed, and I want you to just enjoy the names I'm about to give you.
Okay.
Just enjoy them, Daniel.
Hideo Nomo,
Oh. Yeah.
Chan-Ho Park.
Oh.
Yes.
Really? Yeah, okay. Strikeouts, you say? For Chan-Ho.
Kerry Wood.
Oh. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, nostalgia, man.
Okay, so
Chan-Ho Park, you say?
yeah,
That's a shocker to me.
because you only think of him as the Cal Ripken Jr. home run guy
Yeah.
in the All-Star game.
Yeah, but I guess he had to be in the All-Star game to do that.
Good point,
So,
yeah. But I'm with you there. That was the one name on there I was slightly.
Francis says Yankees are 3-0 with 36 runs so far. For your
Thanks to their
information,
weird
hey,
bats.
thanks to their
'Cause
weird
they're
new
cheating
bats.
They're cheating bats.
You know what?
Chats.
I hope they're not. I hope they're not cheating. I just want the rest of the league to get them. But also, we're talking about 2001, where they lost the World Series because your boy Mariano Rivera blew a save. My guy,
Andrew,
Just doing that.
I did send you 2 videos on Signal that we
you
could
wanna watch them?
Well, we can use them to close the show.
Okay.
Well, they're Renee's.
I'll eat some cookies while we watch it.
Okay, Daniel, you are. I'm kind of starting to worry that you're not going to be able to get out of the Husky zone. You need to be really strong in these last 3 categories. Okay.
Okay.
Hits, Daniel. 5 guys.
Ichiro.
Ichiro, number 1, 1 point. Take
Wait,
that, Dad.
I just got this. I only get 1 point for getting the number 1 guy, right?
Yes. You get 5 because getting the 5th guy. Getting the 5th guy is harder than getting the first guy, so you get more points for that.
And now you understand why your dad was a little bit upset.
I feel weird about this.
And also, I did a thing where, like, it's so hard to navigate baseball reference for some reason on my phone compared to the computer. It's so much better.
Let's see. 2001 hits. 2001 hits. 2001 hits. I'm going to go with Alex Rodriguez.
Alex Rodriguez not on the list, so you get a strike there. And as we all know, 3 strikes, and well, technically you can get 4, so I can't say 3 strikes and you're out.
Let's see. Hits.
The second place person on this list is also a person you might have cared about in 2001. Sometimes I feel like when I give you these hints, it messes with you more than if I just let you guess on your own.
Yeah.
Which is why I do it.
Edgar Martinez.
Ooh, I'm sorry, that is incorrect, but you're on the right track.
John Olerud.
Ooh, I'm sorry, that is incorrect, but you got one more guess and you were on the right track.
I feel like you just stole 2 of my guesses.
Did I?
Yes. You thieving punk.
Doesn't sound like me.
It sounds exactly like you.
Kind of sounds like you.
I sort of already feel like I won.
Okay, Francis. World Series facts should only be repeated by fans of teams that have ever been to the World Series. Hey. Stop.
Hey, that's not nice.
I need one more name. Hits, Daniel.
You've told me it like it's a Mariner. And if it's not a Mariner, I strongly dislike your face.
I think we know that's true.
Brett Boone.
Brett Boone is the person you should have guessed before John Olerud. 206 hits in second place. You get 2 points for that.
Talk about roids.
You got 3 points out of that round. Now I want you to just appreciate these other names, okay?
Brett Boone is the argument for allowing steroids in baseball.
Chase coming in hard says, it's not a coincidence that the Yankees made the World Series and lost when their city needed them to win it the most in 2001. Pure evil franchise. From the top rope.
Dude, he didn't even... That's not from the top rope.
Francis,
that's from, like, a rope that's above the top rope somewhere in, like, the ceiling.
That
Dude,
would
that's
be
the cage
incredibly
match.
devastating
Wow.
to Francis if he had anything to do with New York other than rooting for them because they're good.
Daniel, appreciate these 3 names.
Okay, I will. Manny Ramirez.
Rich Aurelia.
Oh. What?
206 hits. Here's another one. You'll like this one. Juan Pierre.
Dude, I don't even remember Juan Pierre.
Really?
Is Juan
Yeah.
Pierre Spanish or French?
He's black. Played for the Marlins. No idea where he's from. You don't remember Juan Pierre? He's in
Vaguely.
a Jay-Z song.
Vaguely. My buddy Zach is going to get really upset with me for not remembering Juan Pierre.
How
I'm
about
sure.
Shannon Stewart?
I don't remember Shannon Stewart at
Played
all.
for the Blue Jays.
Dude,
Boy, you were really young in 2001.
I was 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, I think this resonated with me more than you.
Apparently.
All right, Daniel.
You know what's weird is I think I might get mid-90s of these better than...
You really started out strong.
Yeah, and
you
then I
got
just-
16 in the
Daniel
first
was
2
busy
categories.
trying to be an
And
athlete
even
in
though
2001.
Dad might quibble with my scoring system, you only got 6 points out of the last 2 combined. So you are at 22, and you need to get...
As much as I want to quibble, it makes sense. Like, I get the logic behind your, of course I remember Ichiro has the most hits.
Yeah.
But I don't like it.
RSBI, Daniel.
I don't like it.
We're the top 5 guys in RSBI.
Brettish Boonish.
Brett Boone is number 4. That's a 4-point win for Daniel Hargrove.
Alexo Rodriguez-o. Alex Rodriguez.
Alex Rodriguez not on the list.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Alexo Rodriguez-o. And you know what's funny about that?
What?
I did not know who you were talking about. I was like, who the heck is Alexo Rodriguez-o? Francis said former Yankee Ichiro Suzuki.
Yes.
Also true.
Yeah.
Current Mariner.
Mariner
Also
for
true.
life. All right, Daniel.
Yeah, how many retired players are hanging out with the Yankees?
Brett Boone, brother of former Yankee Aaron Boone.
Oh, Alex Rodriguez, by the way, was 7th in RBIs. So you weren't too far off, but not on the list.
Todd Helton.
Todd Helton, good pull. He was 2nd that year with 146. Very nice.
Rockies pull there.
I like it. That was before they started humidifying their balls.
Yeah, yes.
They had a humidifier at
Yeah.
Coors Field. Yeah. So the balls wouldn't go as far.
Let's say Barry Bonds.
You know what? Barry Bonds was 6th.
Son of a biscuit maker.
And that was the year he hit 73 home runs. So I was like,
How?
I was so waiting for... How is a really good question. It's because he walked 1,000 times.
Yeah, but how do you hit 73 home runs and not crack the top 5
Because
for RSBI?
if anybody was on base, they were just walking him. Like all year.
They were all solos.
Yeah, didn't he have like a 600 on base percentage that year? It
Dude,
was
his
some
numbers were
crazy-
just dumb.
like video game numbers.
Yeah.
Anyway, you got one more guess. And 6 points so far in this one.
but
How many
I'm
points does
trying
he
to get the
need,
5th
Justin?
best person.
Okay, so
I'm trying to get the 5th best RSBI leader
I'm
here,
going to
right?
give you a hint about the people who are left on the list.
Okay.
2 of them have the same last name, and one of them would be associated with corked bats.
Sammy Sosa?
Sammy Sosa was first. You get a point for that one.
Oh, you led me right into that. You didn't want me to find the 5th best one.
I gave you 2 guys have the same last name.
And I shouldn't have gone with Sosa because nobody else then had Sosa.
Who would you think were the guys with the same last
Same
name?
last name. It was probably Manny Ramirez
And who?
and somebody else Ramirez.
Well, Aramis Ramirez, I think, came around a little later, didn't he?
yeah.
Think
let's see.
along the same line. but
Gonzalez?
different- Yes. which
Juan
one?
Gonzalez
Yep.
and Juan Gon
remember
and
the
Luis Gonzalez.
Yes, Luis Gonzalez, the World Series winner.
Luis Gonzalez, Francis. Sit in that name for a little bit.
Yeah, sit in it, Francis. You're at 28 points right. Wait, hold on. Wait, 16.
Chase says, luckily I'm a Red Sox fan. Lots of suffering, but not M's level.
I might have done a bad job with the scoring system here because you are way below where I thought you would be. You're at 28.
Dude, didn't you start the scoring in like the 40s?
40. Anything lower than 40 is the duck zone.
Oh
You had
my
to get
gosh,
to 50 to
Daniel's
get
in the
past
Duke zone.
Duck zone. Daniel, stolen bases. Hit me with some stolen base leaders.
Ichiro Suzuki.
Ichiro was number 1. You get 1 point for that. Take that, Dad.
Ricky Henderson?
Ricky Henderson. Why is he not on this list?
Because he was stupid old.
Yeah, nope, not in the top 10. So that's a strike. You get 3 more guesses.
You picked a year that was too late for Daniel, Justin.
There's only one person on the stolen base top 5 that I didn't know.
Really?
Yeah. There's some
Kenny
stars.
Lofton.
That was a good guess. Not on the list. Not in the top 10. One of the people on this list was mentioned in a previous category. And you said, I don't know who that guy is. And I said,
Juan Pierre?
He's black. Juan Pierre is correct. He was third. You got one more guess.
Wait a second. I've guessed Ichiro
Yep. And Juan Pierre.
and Juan Pierre and Ricky Henderson.
And Kenny Lofton.
And Kenny Lofton. Okay. Darn it. I was trying to steal another guess
I
there.
don't know why. You're so far behind on points. I don't even think you're getting it. I'm not great at math.
I feel so defeated right now.
That is the goal of Stump Daniel.
Shut up, Andrew.
The goal of Stump Daniel is to go into Daniel's wheelhouse and defeat
Poop
him.
all over it. Just
Not literally.
I don't know. Just straight up daddy daycare everywhere.
What do you mean up?
Oh boy. Let's say. Let's go with Mike Cameron.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
Horrible
and I think
guess.
you knew that. Terrible guess. You end up with 4 points in this category, which puts you at 32, firmly in the duck zone.
I want some. I'm hungry. I want meat.
There was a guy named Roger Cedeno from the Tigers, who I didn't really know who that was. But the other two guys on this list were Jimmy Rollins
Oh, Jimmy Rollins.
and Alfonso Soriano.
Oh.
And this will conclude Stump Daniel, which is brought to you by the law office of Jeffrey A. Domashevitz.
Francis is going to say former Yankee Alfonso Soriano. He's probably typing it as I said those letters, names, whatever. I don't have any more in me, Justin. My dad just said, ask Justin where his mask is.
I still haven't.
I'll
got
wear a
those-
mask next week
I
just
still
for
haven't
you,
got
Dad.
those videos, Justin.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay,
They
so
must
let-
be uploading or
So
something.
as we go out, so stay tuned because Andrew's gonna play those videos, but
Oh,
that's gonna do
are
it for our
there-
show.
They're sending right now, but they're like,
are you connected to
Oh.
a Wi-Fi?
yeah, I just have
Okay.
circles.
They might be big if they're taking that long
Yeah.
to send.
Well, oh, hold on. One of them seems
Oh.
to have just gone through.
One did.
Okay, I would like to wrap up the show by showing Reneja's videos. The other one also, I think, just went through.
Yes. So
Oh yeah, it
So-
must have needed to have you
Talk about it.
have
It
up.
probably was because I needed my phone to be open while I was
Yeah,
receiving or while
sorry
sending
about
them.
that.
So
you have
that's
a
my
flip
bad.
phone. What are you doing?
I get it's just an iPhone. You know, they're a little bit worse than normal phones.
You have to open them apparently.
Yeah. No, open the phone.
Oh
Open the
wait,
phone.
no, open them like a flip phone.
Okay.
You mean like
You know they
Tap
make
on the screen?
phones now that are smartphones with full color screens, but you close them.
they do have those, but
Yeah.
they're not iPhones.
No.
So what do you mean by open the phone?
Like have my phone on.
You on? You have to turn the screen on for
Yeah.
them to do things. They
Yes.
can't do things without the screen on.
Is it not reasonable that I said open the phone when I meant turn the screen on?
No, it's completely reasonable. I'm just in a really grumpy mood after that Stump Day
You just
segment.
deserve every.
I'm trying to show highlights from a Grizzly athlete. I thought it would make you happy.
Well, you're digging out of a well, my friend. You're digging out of a well.
Oh, I think Andrew's about ready to have them up there.
I can play him whenever now.
All right,
Go ahead,
do it.
let's play them, and we're gonna wrap up the show with that. So we'll play those, and then we'll call it out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's when you're on the freeway, it switches over and kills.
So this is the 100 meter.
And don't even notice it. Right.
Get set.
Yeah, watch this.
Oh wait, nope, it hasn't done get set yet.
And it does affect.
There's Reneja. She's just on the left side of the pillar. Get set. The gunshot. There she. Oh, dude. There she goes. Oh, that one girl. Oh, never mind. Oh my god.
Okay, so
Oh, but that one girl is way farther than the rest.
okay, so that's Haley McElroy from Lonnie, and she
Okay.
does kind of get sort of close to Reneja at the end.
Nice job,
a little
ladies.
bit.
Did you see the rest of the field though?
Yeah, super far back from those two.
Like Reneja blew away, but
Yeah.
both of them blew away everybody.
yeah. Which it's a 100-meter sprint.
Yeah.
like they're supposed to all kind of be even with each
kind
other.
of close, but that looked like Usain Bolt,
Yeah.
a guy from the U.S., and the rest of the field.
Do we have the other
A guy
video?
from the U.S., not a guy.
Do we have the other video too,
Yep.
Andrew?
Yeah.
Okay.
When
All
you're
right,
ready.
let's do
Yeah,
it.
go ahead. Pull that across here.
Oh, this is. Oh my
Oh.
gosh! Holy crap!
Oh, she passed. Oh my good. Oh wow. Okay,
Dude.
so the girls.
So
on
I mentioned that some Faith Cardenas stuff before. That's what I remember watching. Almost the same view as our video, right?
So this is not.
Dude, that is almost the same, except for that one girl for Monty's closer
Yeah,
than
Haley-
anybody was to Faith.
Haley McElroy doing a good job. Like, you know what, Renasia, she
That is a
eased up a
solid
little bit at the
second.
end. Did
Yeah.
you see that? She eased up a little
did.
bit at the end. You know what, Renasia, run that through. Like, come on, finishing kick off the blocks.
Off
So
the
they
blocks
do a
was in-
staggered start in these 200s,
And she
where
almost passed him in like 2 steps.
she passed him before the curve.
Andrew, can you play that again?
Just the beginning, like at least just
Yes.
the beginning of
Yeah,
this
here we go.
race.
Look how fast she passes.
We're like 30, maybe 25, 30 meters into the race where she's passing the girls on the outside.
That's nuts.
Which means that not only is she real fast, but she's also just getting a really explosive start. on
Yes.
the blocks. And I actually think that maybe Haley McElroy sort of starts to catch her a little bit towards the end.
Yeah.
Like, you can see kind of maybe Renee's just easing up a little bit
Yep.
at the end, realizing she's so far ahead of everybody.
Yeah.
And so Haley catches up, and they give a little fist bump. I love
Yep.
that. When
That's awesome.
When the two best run. This is with Jane Roloff and the Schweppe girls from last
100%.
year had such a great relationship. You know,
Yep.
when you're kind of the best in your category. That was awesome. Thank
Yep.
you for sending those to us.
Yeah. Thanks,
we will
Renasia.
be continuing to celebrate Renasia and Ricky and Isaac Garcia and all the track athletes that we have throughout the rest of the season.
Triathletes.
As long as as well as the other sports. So
Shame.
So that's going to wrap it up for our show today. Thank you. Not thank you. For my co-host. I don't thank you.
No thanks to my.
No thanks to my co-host who did all the actual work but also made me feel bad. Facts don't care about my feelings. Justin, I picked Duke Damashevitz.
I don't like that. And for my co-host Daniel, I don't care about what's real, Hargrove.
And our trusty producer, Andrew, Gino is an above-average quarterback. Gross.
He did say that.